Cruising to work, Route 80 East, nice and light. It's early, 6:04. Jeep has been running super smooth. All the recent repairs have been going very well. Clock springs holding up. TPMS sensors good to go. Gas is now $4 a gallon in New Jersey, and it's costing $50 a day to drive back and forth to work. Keeping it full. Don't have to worry about the fuel tank falling out. Did the new skid plate. It was rotted out so bad that the entire bottom of the fuel tank was exposed. Crazy. I did get the filter heads cabin air filter module kit that came in yesterday, so I'll be doing a live stream of the install. Goes underneath the hood cowling. Just replaces the mesh that's there, but the mesh doesn't do anything except maybe keep big leaves up. Somehow acorns and mice got into my blower. We fixed all that. We have fully functional HVAC system now. It's nice and toasty in here. No more vibration when I crank it up. Just nice warm air. Blower sounds good. It's nice, powerful. It'll be good when we get the air conditioning going. But even all the way on low, it blows pretty well, so I just keep it all the way down. A lot of heavy truck traffic on Route 80 in the mornings. I have noticed that with the new tires, the ride is very smooth. The old tires must have had flat spots from sitting so long, because it definitely had some odd vibrations. Couldn't really drive it over 70 miles an hour. It got really shaky. This one's very smooth. 70, 80. Nothing in the steering. Fairly new rotors in the front. New pads in the front and the back. So brakes are top. Due for an oil change, so we'll do that next. Put some Mobile One in it. Got a couple cool additives too that I'll bring in to show you guys. But other than that, daily driver Jeep working out really well. Everybody's in a rush. Morning rush hour on Route 80 has been way less hectic. COVID has everyone working from home. Which probably also influences the $4 a gallon super gas. If there's no demand, there should be a surplus. So it's weird. See that 180-degree thermostat working. Stock is 203, and the 203 thermostat, when it was operating, was straight up and down. So it's a tick over to the left there, but supposedly good for a couple more horsepower. Doesn't soak the intake manifold as hot. I did get a pedal commander. It's a gas pedal defeat, if you want to call it that. It installs in between the gas pedal and the ECM. Modifies the gas pedal signal so you can control how lazy the gas pedal is. Stock is very lazy. Definitely grocery getter lazy. So we'll see how we can modify the settings on the pedal commander, which is different than a tuner. Tuner would do ECM settings. This is before the ECM. So it's modifying the actual gas pedal itself, electronic signal, which is a cool thing. You could combine the two and hopefully, you know, Diablo tune it 93 octane and get an even more gains. Definitely curious about the Diablo tune, been looking it up. The Trinity T2 and T3 tuners, $600-700 for a tuner, but looks like it gives you a lot of options. Different than J-Scan, different than Bully, different than Super Chips. A lot of options. So a couple modifications that I have in the bench, in the garage. I got the Jeep Performance front diff mount bushing, the greasable bushing. That one looks awesome. It's super well machined. The mount actually rides on a cushion of grease. It's pretty cool. It's supposed to basically last the life of the Jeep. So that'll be good. I need that. I do have a little front diff mount clunk going on, which is not good for your drivetrain. Just baby driving it, so it doesn't not killing it, but I do have the clunk when I go from reverse to drive. I noticed that the rear passenger window has now become stuck, or it's slow on the pulleys. It goes down about an inch and then doesn't go down anymore, and you can hear cables binding and some weird stuff going on in the door. So I don't really mess with the window, I just keep it up. But I did purchase the passenger rear window regulator. I got it on eBay, brand new. Mopar, 50 bucks. That one looks a little involved. You got to take the door panels off. I'm sure it'll be a little bit longer of a process, not a 5-minute fix. Like I said, I got the oil change, front diff, rear window. I do have a blend door issue on the passenger side. I have the glove box off right now. I did replace the blower. Glove door box comes off in 2 seconds, pretty easy. Literally pops off, no screws. The blend door for the passenger temperature control, all plastic parts. The joining part from the motor to the door itself broke, and the piece that the joining plastic joint also broke, so that it sheared off the flap door component on the outside of the HVAC case and broke the joint. So those gear drives wrench on those plastic parts. It was pretty crazy. I replaced the blend door for the recirc, blend door gear, I should say, for the recirc flap door, and it's insulated, I guess, whatever you say. It's got a rubber gasket on both sides of the door, so it's, when it seals, it has room to compress, and when it compresses, it really pushes that door against that rubber seal. Probably a little bit too hard, actually. I'd like to see the programming on that. It probably looks for some kind of resistance in the motor before it turns off, and that could probably be adjusted to a tiny bit less than what it is if it's breaking all these connections. So it did exactly the opposite of what it was designed to do. When the car is shut off and turned off, it closes the recirc door to the outside, which makes sense. You don't want outside stuff coming in. But after time, it closes it so hard over and over and over that it stresses the parts and breaks, and then the recirc door is wide open. So that's how the mice got into the car. It's a direct opening to the outside right under the hood cowl. And that's it. You have to go up into the dash to replace the parts. So I'm sure it was broken for a long time, didn't even really know it. But that's all fixed. With some updated parts. Amazon had the key for 10 bucks, the gear, and it was way better manufactured than the OEM part. The OEM part had these two little flared wings that held the outside gear on. This is all one piece. Everybody's in a rush. Dump trucks doing 80 miles an hour. It's pretty funny. Just trying to get my gas mileage. Got the rears holding steady at 49 psi, the front's holding steady at 43 psi. Pretty impressed with that Autel tool. $100. Program all the tires. I was able to check all the cars. Super fast and easy. And the Autel sensors are 20 bucks. New valve stems, new sensor. Can't go wrong by replacing all of them. Gas mileage 17.7 over the last couple days. MDS works. I know everybody's scared. Lifter failure. 5.7 Hemi, but 147,394. I mean, no failure. No smoke on startup. Quiet. I do feel like there is a header bolt that is broken, because in the mornings during a cold start you get the slightest exhaust manifold leak noise, which goes away. So because of that, and because I got the Jeep so cheap, maybe we'll do a engine upgrade. Heads, cam, manifolds. Shoot for that 500 horsepower mark. I think this guy's rated at 360, which is very healthy. It towed the boat, no issue at all. But there's a lot of guys out there making 500 plus with 5.7 Hemis with bolt-ons, heads, cam, headers, exhaust. $500 would be pretty crazy. Low 13s. Low 13s meaning less than 13.5 in the quarter mile. I think this guy's over 6,000 pounds. I haven't weighed it, but it's heavy. Cruising along here, 70 miles an hour, 2,000 RPM, eco mode. 4-cylinder. Approaching that 18 miles per gallon. I mean, that's an old number. That's over the course of several days highway driving. I would say the mix between highway and rural and city, definitely over 16 miles per gallon, probably closer to 17, and then highway is 18, 19. But overall, definitely one of the more enjoyable cars to drive after everything's fixed and operational. The airbag light was ridiculous. Every time you touched the steering wheel, it came on and let you know it came on with a bing and a ding. And those are parts that shouldn't fail after 10 years. I had a 350,000 mile Hyundai Azera that I put 50,000 miles on from 300 to 350. I didn't have one failure of any of those components. Even the stock tire sensor is still operational. So they use some good parts. Hyundai, that was a very good commuter car. Minus tires and brakes, normal maintenance items. I hadn't replaced anything. Looks like we got some light bulbs out in the stereo there. So, get to work here in a minute and get settled in. Maybe I'll show you the filter head, cabin air filter installation. Very good. Catch you later.